It's been a long time coming. But tonight, change has come to America.
I will promise you this, that if we have not gotten our troops out by the time I am president, it is the first thing I will do. I will get our troops home. We will bring an end to this war. You can take that to the bank.
That's why I have a plan that will bring our combat troops home by March of 2008.
That's why I put forward a bill that would begin a phased redeployment and have all our troops out by March 31st of next year.
Close down Guantanamo, restore habeas corpus.
I intend to close Guantanamo, and I will follow through on that.
No more illegal wiretapping of American citizens. No more national security letters to spy on citizens who are not suspected of a crime. No more ignoring the law when it is inconvenient.
Well, I think at this point he's perfected the art of forgetting Barack Obama, the candidate.
The Secretary of Defense, Robert Gates, said again yesterday that the U.S. would be willing to extend the U.S. military presence in the country. It's a plan Obama has already approved.
Several tens of thousands of U.S. troops indefinitely staying in Iraq, not withdrawal in Iraq, potentially doubling forces in Afghanistan.
Well, it is now November of 2011. Guantanamo Bay continues to be open for business.
President Obama today proposed something new. Something called prolonged detention, indefinite detention without trial. That's what this is. That's what President Obama proposed today.
U.S. President Barack Obama has signed the defense bill.
So the last thing the president did in 2011 was sign a bill that pretty much does away with due process.
That would authorize him to use the military to arrest people in the United States, to keep them from a lawyer, to keep them from a judge, to keep them from a jury, to lock them up for as long as he wants.
And he's even authorized the killing of a U.S. citizen.
Tim Geithner has been picked as the next Treasury Secretary. Geithner's expected nomination was greeted with praise across Wall Street.
Timothy Geithner appointed Mark Patterson, former top lobbyist for Goldman Sachs, as his chief of staff.
Goldman Sachs was the largest domestic recipient of funds in this AIG counterparty arrangement.
Joshua Bolton was actually the London office manager for Goldman Sachs. The chief of staff for Timothy Geithner today is someone from Goldman Sachs. Mr. Cash Carey, who's handling the TARP, he was from Goldman Sachs. I mean, is there anybody that isn't from Goldman Sachs?
Especially when you add to it that when it was all said and done, Goldman's chief competitor in the bond market, Lehman Brothers, had been vanquished, and Goldman now had a monopoly on all fixed income trading basically in the world, and was now the most profitable investment bank in the history of the world, and is now not subject to any further regulation than they were prior to the crisis. So it's good to be Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs, who today announced that they have never been more profitable. Goldman Sachs netting $13.4 billion in 2009, topping the firm's 2007 record.
William Lynn, he was appointed to the #2 position at the Defense Department. William Lynn, also a former top lobbyist for Raytheon, one of the 5 largest defense contractors.
Raytheon announced today that it has signed a $145 billion contract.
Raytheon has won a $68.6 million contract.
Raytheon announced today it has been awarded a $107 million U.S. Air Force contract.
Raytheon announced Monday that its subsidiary, Raytheon Technical Services, has won a U.S. Army Forces Command contract.
Raytheon Company announced today it has received a $1.7 billion contract.
You can take that to the bank.